Cole Thompson, allaggies.com. Caden, can you explain what your degree is in and what you're going to potentially do with it afterward?
So supply chain management is just like all the logistics within business. I mean, it can be about a lot of different stuff. Hopefully after this semester, I'm just taking non-degree seeking courses. I'm going to go in and hopefully get my master's in real estate. And I feel like that's more a field that I would want to pursue after football.
Congratulations on that. Also, what have you learned from Seth in your time here, and how excited are you to finally be able to have your opportunity to make your own legacy?
Yeah, so me and Seth made each other a lot better. Kind of what he taught me and helped me get better at was just my consistency overall. I was more like a big leg kicker coming in, and his consistency was what made him so good. So we both kind of just continually made each other better, and that's really what I learned from him. And I'm super excited to finally have the stage to myself.
All right, we'll stay on the front row, right on the aisle. Travis?
What do you feel like your range is, and do you feel like you provide an opportunity for some really bigger long kicks this year?
So my range can change on the day, but typically I'd say I'm probably good within like 65 yards right now. Sorry, what was the second part of that question?
And do you foresee maybe expanding the kicking game this year to a little bit longer?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm super excited about that. Just whenever the opportunity comes, maybe before a half or end of the game, just being able to extend that range and maybe put up some big field goals.
We'll stay on the front row on the right.
So when you were a kid, how do you become, what goes into the process of becoming a big-legged kicker? Like maybe advice to kids, so forth, and things like that in terms of what you did to really get that strong leg?
So I grew up playing soccer. I think that's usually how it goes for most kickers. They start playing soccer, just that ball contact. And so it kind of came natural to me from there, from playing soccer. And then from there, I mean, I started practicing kicking with Cole's kicking organization and kind of fine-tuned all of that raw ability into being able to make it more precise and be able to kick a football straight.
What's kind of the main exercise or strengthening program, conditioning drill, whatever you want to call it, that
so yeah,
builds
really
a leg?
anything like explosive exercises like power cleans or like plyometrics, box jumps, stuff like that, explosive movements.
And did you grow up a Texas A&M fan? And if so, what's your first memories of that?
Yes, sir, I did. My dad was the class of '99, so I grew up coming to games, so it was a lot of fun doing that. My first memory is probably back before Kyle Field was built up like this. I was on the grass lawn, and after a game, I remember all the players were like walking through that little tunnel right there where all the fans are on the side, and I got gloves from a player. I wish I could remember who it was, but I can't right now. And then other than that, just watching Johnny Manziel, I mean, that was amazing.
Do you have any idea what year that was you were on the field? Right around there?
I'd say I was probably 9 or 10, so probably like 2009 or 2010. Yes, sir.
All right, we'll go to the back behind the lights on the right. Justin?
Caden, how do you think you'll, I don't know, your first pressure-packed kick, how do you kind of, you seem kind of calm, so how do you keep yourself calm, and how do you think you'll kind of handle that first maybe big kick situation?
So, yeah, that's kind of what I've been working on a lot lately is just the mental side of the game because I know I have the raw ability, but the mental side is what's going to allow you to perform great in games and in those big pressure situations. So, I mean, to start, just all of the work I've put in, I can kind of just trust and fall back on all of the work I've put in and technique work. And now the mental side, I just feel calm and I've just been locked in right now, and it feels really good to be kicking like that.
We'll go to the front row on the right. Cole?
Caden, you said you played soccer growing up. What position were you?
I was a right wing, so like a forward.
With that in mind, when you play more of the forward position, do you have to have more of a strength with the kick, or is it more so an accuracy with the kick?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, I played right wing just because I was faster than everybody. So I would just run, I would kick the ball around them, run around them, and get up there and just put it in the goal however I could. But I think the leg strength kind of just came natural to me.
Anything else for kid? Go to the left, second row.
So going into this year, being the guy, did you change anything in your off season, or was this off season just like every other off season?
Yeah, I did change some things. I mean, I really honed in on some of the fine, like technical stuff that's just very minute because, I mean, I don't want to have any reason to miss a kick. I want to just be as like locked in as I can and have no reason to miss. And I mean, I've been doing pretty good so far this fall camp, and I'm feeling really good about where I'm at technically and mentally right now. I did focus in more on the mental side of things as well.
We'll go to the second row on the right, Olin.
So I was just reading here that you had in high school, a long 57 field goal.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us who that was against and what was the situation? And
Yes, sir.
had you ever kicked one that surprised you that you were able to, to convert it at the distance?
So, yeah, that was my first game of my senior year. After my junior year, we finished with a tough loss in the playoffs from a kick that I missed. So then, first game back, I had put in a lot of work, and first game back I had a 57-yarder to win the game. So kind of quite a turnaround right there. And yeah, 57 yards to win the game we were underdogs that game. And I wasn't surprised that I made it or had the distance to make it, because I probably had made up to like 65 yards, like my longest field goal at that point. But just to be in that situation was a great opportunity to be able to come back, a good comeback story. Saxy. Yes, sir.
Go to the front row on the right.
Yes, sir.
Go to the front row on the right, and then we'll go to Zach.
So we've seen you in the spring games and in the 50-plus. What's the furthest you've kicked out here during practice or maybe on your own that somebody witnessed?
So, really, I haven't been pushing my distance too much lately. I've been trying to just hone in on it, like the kicks I'll actually kick in a game. I haven't been going much past like 55, but when I'm actually trying to push it, the furthest I've hit while I'm at A&M is 76 yards.
Heavy wind?
Yeah, it was pretty windy that day.
And also growing up, did you play other sports as well, soccer and football, but were there other sports, and when did football really start separating itself?
Yeah, I grew up kind of just playing all sports, basketball, baseball, soccer, and then football separated itself in high school. I stopped playing soccer, and it was just football then, focused in on kicking. And then my junior year and sophomore year, I ran track as well. I ran the 100, 200, and 400.
We got time for a couple more. We'll go to Zach on the left, and then we'll go to Cole.
Caden, what's the key to making clutch kicks? Obviously you saw Seth do it, and you've done it in high school. So how do you prepare yourself mentally for something like that?
Yeah, that's definitely a hard thing to prepare for, because you can't have those scenarios just when you're practicing. But I think whenever you just put in the work and you can trust all the work that you've put in, you have no other way to go. I don't know if I answered that well, but you just got to trust all of the work that you've put in and your technique, and just not change anything. Everything else may change, but everything's the same right there. Yes, sir.
Or we'll go to the right, Cole.
Back-to-back years, Seth made monumental kicks, one against Florida, and then last year against Alabama. Do you dream of having that potential moment this year?
Yeah, it's definitely every kicker's dream to be able to be in that situation, for sure.
All right, we'll go Brent, and then Olin, you'll wrap us up.
I'm going to follow up on playing other sports as a kid. How does that help you become a more well-rounded athlete, that you're doing things like track and field as well as, football?
Yeah, I think track and field especially helped me with my leg strength as well, just getting those fast twitch muscle fibers to get going, because I ran all the short distance stuff, and it kind of just made me more coordinated as well. I think soccer players really are the most well-rounded athletes usually if they play another sport, just because other sports, they don't really have that coordination between their feet like that, foot-eye coordination. But yeah, definitely playing other sports made me a more well-rounded athlete, and I can do some other things besides just kick a football.
All right, Olin, you'll wrap us up.
How much, if any, interaction do you ever have with Coach Fisher, and does he ever try to give you any coaching?
On the field, we have pretty little interaction. Especially if things are going well, he's not talking to us at all. But if things start going bad, that's when we'll start hearing some stuff, and we got to fix some things. But yeah, on the field, we don't really have a whole lot of interaction.
Thanks, Cade.